The Pegg Project Time Travel Discoveries. The Australian researchers Ronald Pegg from Queensland and Eddie Pengelly from South Australia. Pegg presented his findings in a series of 20 reports. Pengelly examined those claims, then produced a series of summary books. Evidence of time travel encounters have been discovered documented in over 30 ancient texts from over 12 different countries spanning the last 5,000 years. A time traveller visited the 1990s to collect these 3 CD-ROMs, a desktop computer, and these 2 history books. He then went back to the past to visit selected ancient people and told them to write about what he was showing them and to place the same warning in their individual chronicles. The time traveller was sometimes perceived as an elder or an angel. The computer was known as an oracle, the monitor a magic mirror, a CD-ROM, a tablet, seer stone, wheel, sealed book or magic circle, the CD tray, an altar upon which these knowledge stones were placed, and the mouse and cable was the staff used to bring forth that knowledge. The plastic jewel case was a plate, with its black base plate being called a breastplate. While the computer technology was described in many personal chronicles, others reported selected future, astronomical, historical and Mediterranean information that was shown to them. Details from the Persian Gulf War video from Grolier and from this book have been recorded by a few ancient writers, some of whom also describe specific events from this book. This CD-ROM has its pictures described in many ancient chronicles. Ronald Pegg concluded that finding all this in over 30 ancient texts is evidence of time travel. This was a brief overview of 10 years of research regarding the first series of time trips, but it was not that simple. This information confused many ancient people, with myths and legends being created when their vague stories were retold. The computer being perceived as an oracle resulted in many prophetic stories. This CD-ROM was once worshipped as a god. Certain pictures from the CD-ROMs were amalgamated into different unassociated stories. The historical information from the CD-ROMs and books was sometimes perceived by ancient people as past events of their ancestors, while others correctly knew it was of future events. Descriptions of events and of pictures are reported in several formats. Plain text simply documents what was seen, word by word. Mistranslation. Incorrect words concealed and changed what was actually being reported. Misunderstood. Retold stories missed certain points and added guesses to what was meant. Manipulated. Stories were amended with a new bias or political agenda. The first trip back to the past had an unforeseen consequence that caused a cascade effect throughout history. Where the time traveller was perceived as an elder or an angel, religions, cults or faiths were spawned. All this had to be addressed without changing the past or damaging the timeline. A second series of time trips were made to a few selected people. They were instructed to encode what they saw, plus other information in their personal chronicles. It would be hard to understand, but with the right decoding keys, it could all be revealed much later. They were told what went wrong, how to fix it, and who will find this hidden information. Encoded messages in the Old Testament were found by Michael Drosnin. Encoded messages in the works of Nostradamus were found by Ottavio Ramotti. Mistranslations in the Bible were found by Dr. James Strong. Hidden messages in the Bible and Nostradamus were found with the outstanding matters from the Bible and Nostradamus codes being resolved by Ronald Pegg, being the second person to find a code in the Bible. The content of those hidden and encoded messages made it possible for Pegg to discover and find everything that you have just been told. Ron Pegg Discoveries acquired the Pegg Project Works in 2012 and set a 10-year target to develop this new knowledge of the past into public-friendly publications. Eddie Pengelly was commissioned to re-examine this work. Independently, using a wide variety of research resources, he wrote a new series of reports. 18 of Pegg's 30 case studies have now been examined and validated. 6 academically written reports also confirm that evidence of time travel is documented in ancient texts. More details of this new knowledge of the past can be found on the peggproject.com website, where you can first view a findings video, then choose a study option.